Welcome to MBC News. I'm Dooza Dragonash, your anchor, and here is the team for tonight's Editorial Clarity.
Hi. Hello.
Hello. Sigmund Leominster.
Good evening to everybody who's watching.
And Mal Burns Writer.
Hi all.
It's like a testosterone beauty contest, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
Anyway, the North African country of Egypt is in turmoil, with democracy and elections the cry from the population. And with that cry being echoed in other countries around North Africa and the Middle East, the balance of politics in the area is up for grabs. The Egyptian government has closed down the internet, but news is still being posted by other means throughout the world. In the virtual world of Second Life, residents have been gathering on the Egypt Sim to show solidarity and exchange news.
And Amazon have just announced that for the first time, sales of downloaded Kindle books have exceeded sales of paperbacks. Since the beginning of this year, Amazon has sold 115 Kindle books for every 100 paperbacks. Now, with the Kindle being a big seller during the holiday season, many of these sales will represent the post-Christmas rush by new owners to download reading materials. However, it does suggest that customers are becoming more comfortable with the idea of having a virtual bookshelf rather than a real paper-based collection. The paperback is unlikely to be an immediate danger, but as more ebooks enter the market at lower prices, we should expect to see the download figures become even more dramatic.
And still talking of books, a new book from an American clinical psychoanalyst, Professor Sherry Turkle, argues that rather than virtual life making us more social, it actually encourages isolation. Entitled Alone Together, Why We Expect More from Technology and Less from Each Other, the book explores the theme that social networks are superficially social and over-reliant on virtual communication and have impaired our ability to have real communication. Constant electronic interaction has paradoxically led to people becoming less caring and treating others more like objects than human beings with real feelings. The book was released only this week and is likely to lead to much discussion amongst both techno-pessimists and techno-optimists. So, team, are we becoming more isolated and less caring?
I don't care.
Shut up and get on with it. A report in the UK's Daily Mirror newspaper told of an immigration officer who was so sick of his wife that he put her on a terrorist watch list to keep her from returning from a trip to Pakistan. Apparently, the officer added to her name to a register of people banned from flights into the UK while she was visiting family overseas. When she went to the airport to get a return flight back, the officials told her she couldn't board the plane and didn't explain to her why. Not surprisingly, she called her husband, who promised to look into it, whilst he had the time of his life, quote unquote. The man was caught out when he applied for a promotion, and a background check showed his wife was on the no-fly list. He then admitted his actions and was fired. There's so much to say about that piece that I can't even start.
Probably better not, I should guess. Well, in the US, a celebrity sex tape leaked anonymously to the YouTube tends to result in free marketing, free TV coverage, and eventually a lucrative deal once the tape is sold publicly. However, a leaked tape in Indonesia can lead to imprisonment and fines, as one of the country's top rock stars has just discovered. 29-year-old singer Ariel has been fined $25,000 and imprisoned for 3.5 years, following the discovery of videotapes of him and his celebrity girlfriends, plural, on the internet. Now, he was charged under an anti-pornography law passed just 2 years ago because he was, quote, contributing to the country's moral decline, unquote. Now, Indonesia is predominantly Muslim, and hardliners were actually asking for him to be stoned to death. So on that basis, he appears to have gotten off lightly.
Indeed he has. Okay, well, AOL are investing $96.5 million into Go Viral, a distribution network to strengthen its position in Europe, putting more emphasis on video distribution and media from its more traditional role as that of an internet access provider. It's also buying startup companies with video emphasis. It seems the fight for provision of entertainment is intensifying between companies on the net, underlining the transfer from the television to the computer and games industry.
Now for these messages.
Do you want your own world? Do you want control over access? Do you want your brand on it? We can give that to you with spot-on 3D web worlds. Affordable and secure, make it your 3D web with custom, DIY, or ready-made content. Ideal for universities, nonprofits, entrepreneurs and enterprises, and even pioneering individuals pushing the metaverse forward. Create your vision with spot-on 3D web worlds.
At Micropets, we take product development very seriously. Spending years in the laboratory, toiling over the lens, developing the perfect habitat. Why? For this little fella and this little lady. Breedable piggies. With love. From Micropets.
And welcome back, and it's over to Melbourne's writer for TechSpot.
Okay, thank you, Diza. Well, to start off TechSpot this week, we're going to look at alternative metaverse viewers, which have been booming lately. And earlier this week, the Phoenix viewer, one of them, announced a partnership with Spot on 3D, another one of them. And I'm pleased to say that we have Tessa Harrington of Spot on 3D and Jessica Lyon of Phoenix in the studio to talk about this brand new partnership. So, welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Now, you both, as it seems to me at the moment, you've both been in sort of competing territory in the sense that you've both been developing viewers. We'll go on to some other things in a bit. But Tessa, your viewer has been really emphasizing your own grids, and of course it's been principally an open sim viewer, and you can switch to other grids. Whereas Jessica, as I understand it, Phoenix has really been concentrating on being an alternative Second Life viewer. So what's your sort of plans here, both of you, in the way these the viewer path of what you're doing is coming together?
Oh, I don't really see me and Jessica as competing. We're both providing a product that has a different perspective and a different focus. And I'm not very competitive, honestly. I like to see a lot of diversity, and I feel like Phoenix can really give our users a different experience that, we can develop. But, gosh, why would I want to have Phoenix there? Because they do such a great job of it. And it's such an honor to have them pick our grid to be a focus of the extending the Phoenix viewer too. I couldn't be more ecstatic, and it doesn't mean our viewer won't still be worked on and progressed, but it'll just have a different focus in the Phoenix.
We're not really competing. We both share the same goal, which is to improve the user experience, and in this case, expand the user experience.
Okay, well, the things I must say that I personally use Tessa's Viewer quite a lot for literally logging into different open simulators, because it allows me, for example, to keep my login information from various grids, and it's not hypergridding, but I can jump over to another grid without closing down the viewer. So will this open sim access be coming into the Phoenix Viewer too?
Well, Imprudence does a very good job at OpenSim, and we're not trying to take over that. We'll let them keep doing what they do best. For us, we're basically focusing on getting Phoenix to work properly on the spot on 3D grid, specifically. And
okay, now there's been lots of attention recently to I believe it was you that put up a sort of 15-minute demo of is it going to be called Firestorm Viewer?
Firestorm Viewer, that's right. We put out on the 31st a preview build, which is to be considered a pre-alpha. Basically, we have a lot of work left to do on it.
And this will be a successor to the Phoenix, or is it a parallel
this will be, they will run parallel. The Phoenix Viewer will remain. The Firestorm will run parallel with it until basically the V1 viewers don't work on the Second Life grid anymore. And then we'll focus. Well, we are focusing on the Firestorm, but we'll put 100% focus on Firestorm, basically. So it will supersede the Phoenix Viewer in time.
Right. And it seemed to me from the demo that it's got one thing I'm really dying to have in a Second Life Metaverse viewer is user customization. You can, literally approach it and arrange the interface the way you want it.
One of the things that we've always tried to do is listen to the user and try to do our best to provide the solutions to things that the users ask for. And customizability is one of those things in the Viewer 2 that we're really, really trying hard to do.
Great. All right, well, Tessa, does Spot on 3D have any plans to support the Viewer 2 protocol as well, or will that remain Viewer 1? Sort of code base, so to speak?
Well, me and Jessica have already talked about certain features in the Viewer 2 that we definitely need for our goals long-term for Spot on 3D, and I think any grid that wants to remain viable is going to have to include them, like mesh support and web on a prem. But Jessica has some very good ideas on how to do that with keeping it very secure, but she could probably talk more about that than I could from a technical aspect.
Right. Well, I'm afraid we can't go into too much of technology because this is just a short news program. But I'd like to thank you both for coming on. It's really sort of exciting times, and wish you both best of luck in this partnership. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, in other tech news, as we've already heard, Phoenix have launched their Firestorm browser, but earlier in the week, Oz Linden, who works on or heads up the Second Life viewer team, has also announced that they too will be collaborating with the Firestorm project and doing their best to incorporate parts of that interface into Second Life's own viewer. And still on gadgets, one rather interesting one is called Multi-Chan Hacks. Now, we came across this, oddly enough, in one of the fashionista blogs. But it's quite interesting in that it is a plugin for Photoshop that quite literally makes the preparation of skins and customized avatars very easy. You don't have to go through any independent 3D software. You just do it all in a Photoshop plugin. So if you want to know more about that, go to Mistress of Design, all one word, .wordpress.com. And some of us have been really looking forward to the idea of a holodeck. You all know Star Trek's famous holodecks, and if you imagine screens all around you on the floor and on the ceiling and virtual worlds, you have the beginnings of what might be holodeck technology. And it's coming along in leaps and bounds. Eon Reality who are an interactive 3D software provider, have taken a decision as part of a virtual learning program to release something they're calling the Eon iCube. And quite literally, you can buy an iCube and it is a holodeck. It involves 4 walls as a screen, a floor as a screen, and a ceiling as a screen. And they'll be marketing it as hardware for the educational environment, essentially. And with that, I think it's round up. So back to you, Dizzo.
We have come to that very enjoyable, part of the news where we talk about our public service announcements. And I'm very happy to say Eddie is here with us this week to go through them with you.
Yeah, alrighty, a few things going on. SL Art Couture is announcing a new project in partnership with Metaverse TV and Bustle, which is going to be called Claim the Fame. The project will offer aspiring and unknown designers a platform to showcase their work. The prizes are 100,000 lindens, front cover and 6-page spread in the SL Art Couture Cult magazine, and other tempting prizes. To take part, you just need to submit an application and attend a casting. For more information, contact Sweetest Sands in World. Pop Art Lab have launched a music machinima contest. For more information on that and to download the music track, just go over to the Pop Art Lab website. Linden Lab have published a list of employment opportunities and are encouraging residents with the appropriate qualifications to apply. And let's face it, we have all felt qualified from time to time, so now is your chance to influence. I might do that. Burn 2 Spring event for 2011 will start on Friday 18th of March and will go till Sunday March 20th 2011 in Second Life. I am Dr. Gascoigne or Sporty Tone if you would like a slot for the Burn 2 Spring event 2011. And finally, a whole range of events is planned by the non-profit Commons. Rick Pangetiban, is that right? Having spent the last couple of years doing excellent work with Global Kids and on the Teen Grid, he is now taken over as community manager. If you would like to join, go to the non-profit Commons website. And that is it for the Token Youth today.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Cheered me up. No end. Okay, so it just really remains for everybody to say goodbye, I think. Would you like to say goodbye, guys?
Yeah, goodbye.
I'm saying goodbye from a very icy and a very cold Ohio.
Oh, my Lord. What about you, Mal?
It's medium cold. In other words,
it's grey. It's raining.
It's raining.
It's usual weather.
It's not quite. Anyway, I would like to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good tomorrow, depending on wherever and whenever you are.
And that reminds me, actually, I was thinking of doing a global weather spot. We could have Lisa Hermano as the weather girl. So any of our viewers, make a vote on that or make suggestions and see what you feel. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. This is all we have time for in MBC News. Stay safe out there and watch world events, I think. Take care.